There comes a time in life when you wake up and no longer recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. You feel disconnected, like a stranger in your own skin, drifting through life without a clear sense of who you are or where you're headed. Maybe it's because of years spent pleasing others, suppressing your dreams, or living by someone else's expectations. Maybe life knocked you down so many times that you stopped fighting, and now you're left with nothing but confusion and exhaustion. But here's the truth. You are not beyond repair. You are not broken beyond recognition. You have simply strayed too far from your core, and now it is time to find your way back. Finding yourself again is not about searching for something external. It's about uncovering what has been buried within you all along. It starts with admitting that you feel lost, without shame or self-judgment. Too many people deny their own struggles because they fear looking weak. But real strength comes from acknowledging reality and making the decision to change. If you feel lost, it does not mean you are hopeless. It means there is work to do. And work, real, intentional work, is what will bring you back. Feeling lost is one of the most unsettling experiences in life. It's like waking up in a place that once felt familiar but now seems foreign. Like you're walking through a fog with no clear direction. You look around and nothing feels right. You wonder how you got here, how you drifted so far from the person you used to be, and most importantly, how you're supposed to find your way back. But here's the truth. You may be lost, but you are not defeated. Being lost is not the same as being broken beyond repair. It is not a permanent condition. It is a state of transition, a signal that something within you is calling for change. And that realization alone is powerful. Too many people believe that losing themselves is a sign of weakness, as if struggling to find clarity means they are failing. But that's not the case. If you feel lost, it means you are aware enough to recognize that something is missing, that something needs to change. And awareness is the first step toward transformation. You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot move forward if you're unwilling to admit where you are. So instead of seeing this as a dead end, see it as an opportunity. The feeling of being lost is not a punishment, it's a wake-up call. It's your mind and soul telling you that the life you've been living is no longer aligned with who you are or who you are meant to be. The problem is that when people feel lost, they often retreat. They sink into self-doubt, self-pity, and despair. They convince themselves that they'll never figure it out, that maybe this is just how life is, confusing, uncertain, and filled with disappointment. But that mindset only deepens the feeling of being stuck. If you've lost your way, the worst thing you can do is stand still and surrender to it. Instead, you must start searching, exploring, questioning. You must take an active role in rediscovering yourself, even if you don't have all the answers yet. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Clarity doesn't appear out of nowhere. You have to go out and seek it, step by step, piece by piece. And remember this, some of the greatest transformations in life come from moments of being lost. Think about it. When everything is familiar and predictable, you don't question much. You move through life on autopilot. But when you feel lost, when the foundation beneath you starts to crack, that's when you begin to look deeper. That's when you start to challenge your beliefs, your habits, your path. And in that process, you don't just find your way back. You create a new path, one that is stronger, more intentional, more aligned with who you truly are. So no, you are not defeated. You are not hopeless. You are simply in a moment of transition, a chapter in your life where the old version of you no longer fits and the new version has yet to emerge. It's uncomfortable, it's uncertain, but it's also necessary, because being lost is often the first step to finding yourself again. And once you do, you'll realize that this moment of struggle wasn't the end of your journey. It was the beginning of a new one. When life feels chaotic and directionless, the first thing you must do is bring back structure and discipline. Without them, you remain stuck, drifting through life without a clear sense of purpose. Structure isn't about restricting yourself. It's about giving yourself the framework to grow. Discipline isn't about punishment, it's about taking control of your future, one decision at a time. The truth is, if you don't create structure, life will create chaos for you. And if you don't discipline yourself, the world will do it in ways you won't like. You don't need to have everything figured out right away, but you do need to start somewhere. The simplest place to begin is with your daily habits. What time do you wake up? What do you do first thing in the morning? How do you spend your hours? If your days lack intentionality, your life will lack progress. Successful people don't just go through the motions. They build systems that keep them moving forward even when motivation fades. Because motivation is temporary, but discipline is what carries you through. Many people wait for the right time to start changing their lives, but that's an illusion. The right time never magically appears. The only way to get unstuck is to create a plan and stick to it, no matter how small the steps may seem. Set a schedule, hold yourself accountable, make commitments and follow through. When you impose order on your life, you regain control over your mind, your emotions, and your future. And here's something most people overlook. Discipline doesn't just build success, it builds self-respect. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are someone who follows through, that you can rely on yourself. And that changes everything. Because the moment you begin to trust yourself, you stop seeking validation from the world. You stop feeling lost. You stop feeling powerless. You realize that you are the one who shapes your own destiny. It won't be easy. There will be days when you want to quit, when excuses seem louder than your goals. But discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Because in the end, structure and discipline are not just tools for success. They are the foundation for finding yourself again. And once you commit to that path, there is nothing that can stop you. When you feel lost or disconnected from who you truly are, it's essential to pause and revisit your core values and purpose. These are the foundational elements that define who you are, what you stand for, and why you do what you do. Over time, life can pull you in different directions, causing you to lose sight of your core principles. The external pressures, expectations, and distractions often drown out your inner voice, leaving you feeling uncertain and adrift. But to truly find yourself again, you must reconnect with the very essence of who you are. Your core values are not just beliefs or ideals you think about occasionally. They are the compass that guides every decision you make, every action you take. They represent the unshakable truths that resonate deeply within you, the things that bring you peace, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. When you are living in alignment with your values, life feels meaningful, even in the face of challenges. But when you drift away from them, it's easy to feel unmoored, as if you're just going through the motions without any deeper reason. Revisiting your values isn't just about reminding yourself what's important. It's about examining how well your life aligns with those values. Ask yourself, are you living in accordance with what you truly believe? Are your actions and decisions in harmony with your deepest convictions? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, to pursue things that may seem important but aren't aligned with your true self. But this is where discontent starts to creep in. You may find success in certain areas, but without alignment to your core values, success feels hollow. Purpose is closely linked to values. It's the why behind your actions, the driving force that propels you forward, even when things get difficult. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to lose motivation and feel like you're wandering aimlessly. But when your purpose is rooted in your values, it becomes a powerful force that fuels every step of your journey. Your purpose will keep you moving forward when the road gets tough, because it's not about external rewards. It's about the internal fulfillment that comes from knowing you're doing what you were meant to do. Revisiting your core values and purpose isn't a one-time task. It's a continual process of introspection, growth, and realignment. It's about checking in with yourself regularly, adjusting when needed, and ensuring that your actions reflect the person you are becoming, not just the person you used to be. This is how you build a life that is not only successful on the outside, but fulfilling on the inside. You cannot truly find yourself without reconnecting with the deeper, unshakable truths that reside within you. And once you do, you'll rediscover a sense of direction, clarity, and peace that will guide you through the rest of your journey. When life gets hard, the natural instinct is to turn away from pain, to avoid the darkness that threatens to consume us. It's human nature to run from discomfort, to seek safety, and to shelter ourselves from the weight of our fears, our regrets, and our struggles. But here's the truth: the darkness is not something to be feared or avoided. It is something to be faced head-on. Running from it only prolongs the suffering and keeps you stuck in a cycle of avoidance. But when you decide to confront it, when you stand firm in the face of your challenges, that's when you begin to transform. The darkness in your life isn't something to be ashamed of. It's a part of your journey. It's the pain, the fear, the loss, and the confusion that shape who you are and who you are becoming. We all go through it. And if you think that successful, fulfilled people don't experience hardships, you're mistaken. The difference is that they don't run from it. They understand that growth happens when you face the hard stuff, when you allow yourself to be tested by the trials of life, and when you emerge on the other side stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When you run from your problems, you keep them hidden in the shadows, and they continue to control you. You might try to bury your fears under distractions or fill the void with temporary pleasures, but that won't make them go away. They will linger, waiting for you to face them. And when they resurface, they will do so with even more intensity, because avoidance only strengthens their hold over you. On the other hand, when you face the darkness, you take away its power. You look at it, examine it, and understand it. You confront your fears, your insecurities, your past mistakes, and in doing so, you reclaim control. It's not easy. It will stretch you in ways you didn't think possible. It will challenge you to confront parts of yourself that you've been hiding from for a long time. But the reward is immense. Facing the darkness is where true personal growth happens. It's where you uncover the courage and strength that you never knew you had. It's where you learn to trust yourself, to rise above adversity, and to embrace the discomfort as a necessary part of the process. So, stop running. Stop avoiding the tough conversations, the painful realizations, and the uncomfortable truths about who you are. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. But when you decide to face it, when you choose to walk through the darkness instead of around it, you will be forever changed. You will discover a power within you that cannot be shaken by life's challenges. You will no longer be controlled by your fears. Instead, you will control them. And with that control comes freedom. Because in the end, it's not the darkness that defines you, it's how you choose to face it. Too often in life, we look outside ourselves for someone or something to blame for our circumstances. We point to external factors, our upbringing, the economy, bad luck, as the reasons we are where we are. While it's true that life throws challenges our way, the most empowering thing you can do is take responsibility for your future. Taking responsibility means understanding that you hold the power to shape your own life. It means recognizing that you are the one who decides what happens next, not anyone or anything else. The moment you stop blaming others or external circumstances for your situation is the moment you take back your power. You begin to see that your life is the result of the choices you've made, the actions you've taken, and the mindset you've chosen to adopt. If you're unhappy with where you are, the good news is that you have the ability to change it. No one else can do it for you. Your future is not something that happens to you. It is something you create with every choice, every action, every step forward you decide to take. Taking responsibility doesn't mean beating yourself up for past mistakes. It's not about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about acknowledging where you are, understanding how you got there, and then choosing to move forward with purpose and intention. It's about recognizing that no one else is coming to save you. No one is coming to make things better for you. You are the author of your story, and you can choose what comes next. When you take full responsibility for your future, you shift from being a passive participant in life to an active creator. You stop waiting for things to fall into place and start making them happen. You no longer let fear, doubt, or circumstances hold you back. Instead, you focus on what you can control and you take action. You take responsibility for your growth, your mindset, and your success. The road to success isn't easy, and the path may not always be clear. But when you take responsibility for your future, you also take ownership of your journey. You understand that challenges and setbacks are part of the process, but they don't define you. How you respond to them, how you use them to grow, that's what defines you. Taking responsibility is about showing up for yourself day after day, even when it's hard. It's about trusting in your ability to overcome and knowing that your future is in your hands. If you want to change your life, if you want to build something meaningful, you have to stop waiting for permission. You have to stop blaming, stop complaining, and start doing. Take responsibility for your future and own it, because the moment you decide to take control is the moment you begin to transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Your future is waiting, and it starts with you. But here's the hard part. You must face the darkness. Running from your problems, your mistakes, and your regrets will not bring you peace. Growth does not come from avoidance. It comes from confrontation. You must be willing to look at yourself honestly and critically and ask, where did I go wrong? What patterns have kept me stuck? What am I afraid to admit? The answers will not be easy, but they will be necessary, because clarity is born from truth, and without truth, you will never truly find yourself. Most importantly, take responsibility for the life you want to live. No one else can do this for you. No one is going to hand you an identity or a purpose. You have to forge it yourself through action, discipline, and an unshakable commitment to becoming the person you were always meant to be. The path back to yourself is not an easy one, but it is one worth taking, because in the end, the greatest tragedy is not losing yourself. It's never making the effort to find yourself again.